Over 20 years ago, my brother had a fatal motorcycle crash at TCD Hummelo, the Heksenplas. So this is a story about Sjors Kloppenburg's crash, about my crash, and how I got back into riding many years later again. Let's go for a ride.
De trainingen beginnen om 1 uur en de wedstrijden om 2 uur.
So I remember getting home from school and knowing it's Wednesday, that my brother would probably stay at my father's place. Wednesday afternoon, the dirt bike track would be open. So he would pick him up. They would go train. Because I didn't ride in that time anymore. The relationship with my father and me used to be a little bit problematic. So I was in puberty and I didn't want to ride anymore. Yeah, they went riding and I was at home from school. I remember being a couple hours early off because, I don't know, some kind of class didn't went on as it was supposed to. I remember my father calling me and telling me, "Dan, you need to get on your bicycle now and come to my house because Sjors has had an accident and he has to go to Nijmegen." And I didn't know what was going on, so he didn't really give me a clue, or I didn't even hear it in his voice at the time, that it was so serious. So I got to his house, got in the car, almost didn't speak, because he was kind of in shock, I think, while my brother was being transported by ambulance. And then when we came there to the emergency aid station, because that's where they brought him, I walked into the waiting room and I saw my mother there, because I didn't see her yet. And she was crying and had her hands in her face, I remember. And the moment I looked my mother into the eyes, I knew my brother was going to die. I just knew it. Because the way she looked, it wasn't just a fracture or a dislocated shoulder or whatever. So my brother's brainstem was damaged when he fell. So when you jump a motocross bike, sometimes what riders do to get the front end down is tap the rear brake mid-air, so you can line up with your landing better. Supposedly, when my brother jumped in the air, he touched the rear brake, though it'd be a little too much in his case. So he touched his rear brake mid-air, the rear wheel came up, and as he landed, it hit him. And because of that, his head snapped forward, I think, because he was hit from the rear. So because he got hit by the rear of his bike and he snapped his neck forward, he didn't break his neck or anything, but because of the force, his brainstem got damaged, as we later on learned. So should he have survived the coma, then he probably wouldn't be able to speak or walk or do anything as he was used to be able to do before he had the accident. So if they had to remove a piece of the left piece of his skull so that the pressure could be alleviated, have a chance for the swelling to get less and for him to recover, but there was too much damage, and they couldn't seal the damage because of all the swellings and all the moisture that was inside the brain. But I didn't speak to any doctor or anything, but when I saw the look on my mother's face, I knew that it wasn't going to end well. So this is the place where it happens, man. We can walk in here. It's open. Might want to do that. I'm gonna have a look. So I just wanna be there one time. Never been here since. Spend a lot of time here. This used to be the access road where I'm walking now. You would drive past here, and the kids' track would run into the forest there a little bit and make a little loop and come back. This is still original, I think, this part of the youth track. Wow, I haven't been here such a long time. This is the kids' track now. That is the jump. I haven't been here in over 20 years. First time I visit the spot where my brother had his fatal crash. It wasn't fatal directly, but he sustained brain damage, which wasn't repairable, the doctor said. And so we had to end his life then. But you know, at least he died doing what he loved. And he wasn't hit like me by someone who drank too much. So my dad told me my brother was at the bottom of this hill and his bike was there in the corner in the trees. I tell you, I feel my heart pounding. Last thing he's seen was that shot.
Deze kant op, deze bocht kun je ook gewoon staat nemen, hier naar die schans toe.
You not only lose a person you love, but you also kind of lose the love for something which you've loved your whole life. Which makes you feel like nothing else, at least to me. I mean, I still loved motorcycle riding, and I still followed like Supercross and AMA Nationals and MXGP. But it would feel like that was in a different life for me, like in the past. Like that was something that was never attainable again. And you know, eventually time comes around and you start to think about stuff, and I really miss motorcycle riding. You know, I'm a person that is wired like when I'm sitting in a car and I'm not driving or something, and I see like next to the road I see this like little path or this little trail, I think to myself, oh, I'd like to ride that on a dirt bike. And it's maybe a little bit childish, but something I never lost. So I had to do something with it. So I mean, I also already could ride a motorcycle, but I had to get the license. But yeah, so I got my motorcycle driving license afterwards when I was like 26, 27. So it's like 13 years ago. I was young and we were just living together, and we just got our own place. So I didn't really have money. Just bought a DJ Kimco 200 motor scooter, just to go to work a little faster than on a regular moped. And I thought to myself, I will see the serious motorcycle thing later when I maybe get money one day. Actually, one day in November, what's up, buddy? In November, disaster decided to strike. I just worked a long day, and it was raining and it was dark, and I was driving home on my motorcycle scooter, and then I got to a gas station which lied like parallel to the road, and our car wanted to leave there in the opposite direction of where I'm coming from. I was coming from the roundabout, and he was trying to leave the gas station. So if this was the exit, he would like pull up to the road now. And I only had the opportunity to try and not hit this door. I aimed for the engine bay, so I wouldn't be stopped by the door and the glass, so I just flew to the other side of the road. Just before the impact, I was like driving towards him, and I knew I was gonna hit him. I knew it was inevitable, and just for a split second I thought, fuck my mom. She's gonna have to go through this whole thing again. Just before I hit him, like my whole eyesight and I was still conscious, but my whole eyesight like disappeared. And everything became like purple. And the sound also totally disappeared. It was like roar. I flew to the other side of the road, and I remember feeling like a smack on the head and a smack but on my different shoulder. And waking up on the road, and it was raining. And I knew I hit the car still, so I didn't lose like everything that happened. But when I woke up on the road, I was like, I gotta get off this road, because I don't want to be driven over by people that maybe don't see me lying on the road. I try to pick up my bike and my arm isn't working. And at that moment, I notice my arm isn't working. I feel this like gouge of pain through the right side of my body, and I fall to the floor because there was so much pain. And next thing I know, waking up again, people were standing around me, and there was like this city bus that stopped, and people giving me like little papers with phone numbers written on it, saying they saw the whole thing and they can testify in court if need be. And then an ambulance came, and the guy who hit me was still there. He didn't try to leave or anything, and they did an alcohol test to him, and he drank like 4 or 5 glasses of wine. So he drank too much because he was such an a-hole. I almost died because I seriously thought I was gonna hit him and there was no escaping, and I didn't know if I was gonna be able to survive. Yeah, so the ambulance took me away to the hospital. They photographed my shoulder, and it was on a Friday evening. So they only had like interns or something there, and they told me, yeah, it's fine, sir. It may be a little bit bruised, but it's not broken. And on Monday they called me back, and a proper doctor looked at it and told me, nope, it's clean off. Actually, he told me it was broken and that I needed surgery. They put a plate in my shoulder. I couldn't handle any pressure on my shoulder anymore. We got a baby back then, and when the little baby, it was like a couple of months old, put his head on the scar where the metal was directly under it, it would even be painful. I mean, a baby's head weighs nothing. So yeah, I decided to have that removed. After the surgery, I had to recover. I had to do a lot of exercise to learn to move my arm again, throw balls against the wall, and get massages. And I was like, I'm not gonna ride a motorcycle for the coming time, at least for now, because I just didn't find the risk worth it. Because, you know, there's obviously a lot of risk involved in riding motorcycles. I decided not to ride for the forthcoming years, and I was like, I don't know if I ever want to ride again. Maybe I'm done with it. Maybe my arm is enough warning for me to think, F it, I'm not gonna do it anymore. I've been going to motocross events since I was like 6 weeks old. The first smell I can actively remember is that of burning two-stroke gasoline. It has a distinct smell to it. Sometimes when there's a scooter or something that has a little two-stroke engine in it, you still smell it, and it's just the best smell. I mean, I have just been infected with motocross for a long time. Then I saw some channels on YouTube doing the whole adventure bike thing, you know, Adam Riemann, Itchy Boots. I also love Unamoto. There are countless YouTubers who make great content about the passion for motorcycle riding and riding dirt and riding enduro. One night I had seen some guys riding on Iceland doing a motorbike trip, and they were riding these dirt bikes across the water and everything, and I was like, send him a message. I was like, this is what I want to do, that. And my dad is retired from work and he lives in Portugal nowadays. And he sent me a message and he was like, yeah, you can go come ride off-road here. Yeah, so I went to Portugal end of last year. And I went there for 10 days. We did a lot of road touring as well. But yeah, that was my first taste of off-road riding again in like 20 years.
So yeah, that about sums up what happened up until now. And I want to take you on that journey from now on. Come with me, let's ride enduro, let's go ride off-road, enjoy life, make the best of it. Thanks very much for watching and all the best.